Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown.
Welcome to Karate Talk. Today we have a special guest. He's going to come and talk to us a little bit about his special technique that he's using. And I'd like to welcome Sensei Master Rick Bader. Please come in. Rick, nice to meet you. Jay. Tell me about the Canadian Karate Club of Kamloops. How long have you been in existence? Okay, the Canadian Karate Club of Kamloops was formed in 2009, and what we were trying to do is we were trying to come up with a way for the Canadians to learn how to defend themselves, and so we have some different techniques. We took some styles from the Chinese styles and the Japanese styles and the American styles, and we kind of blended them all together, and it's been a lot of fun. We got a lot of good participation. It's a great technique that we're teaching everybody. People seem to enjoy it. It's been really good. Now, can you describe the flying elbow technique and how that came about? Okay, well, the flying elbow technique, if you look at a lot of martial arts today, you'll see in mixed martial arts and so forth, elbows are very effective tools because they can really do a lot of damage, And the flying elbow technique is something that came, if you look back into the Chinese origination of martial arts, they had like the stork technique, and you get to the Japanese crane technique, and then in the U.S. they have I think they have the bald eagle technique or something like that, But the flying elbow technique is one that we developed in Canada, and we base it on the Canadian goose, because the Canadian goose is you see them everywhere. They're all over the place, and if you're out in the parks, you're lucky you don't slip on their poop. Anyway, so we use the Canadian Goose Technique, and that's something that we've developed over some time. We feel it's a very effective blend of some of the more traditional techniques, but also it has a Canadian style to it. And why not a traditional gi, like the traditional karate styles? Why this type of setup, not a traditional gi? Well, in Canada, it's freaking cold, And so the traditional gis are just a little bit too cold, and this is really, if you're doing a traditional gi in Southern California or something, then it's not such a bad thing. But in Canada, where you got ice on the ground a lot of the times, you really want to have the gear that you're going to be using. So we use the hoodie, and we use we actually use boots in our workouts, because if you're fighting in the snow, you're not going to be barefoot, and there's no doubt about that. Anyway, so that's why we don't use the traditional gi. We do use the hoodies and the sweats, and that's really kind of what our traditional Canadian outfit, Thank you very much for coming and talking to us. Now, would you like to demonstrate your technique for us? I'd be happy to do a demonstration for you. I got to say, it's a little bit different. The traditional karate ki at the end of a movement, it would be, you take a few steps and you go, "Hey," something like that. The Canadian one's a little bit different, and you'll notice that we do an outburst or a ki almost with every movement. So you'll notice that's a little bit different than the traditional styles. Canadian Goose Technique. Ready? Begin. Now, if you want to try some sparring techniques, I'll come over here. You come up behind me. I'll show you what I can do. Hey! Wow, that's some technique. Thank you, Master Bader.
They were chopping them up, they were chopping them down.
Why not? Oh god, it's recording.
And everybody knew their part. From a fainting to a slip and a kicking from the hip. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Okay, the Canadian Karate Club of Champions was formed in 1999, and well, we introducing thank you very much, Master Vader. Now, what should I call you? Sensei Master Rick Vader. Should I call you Sensei? Should I call you Sensei Rick? Should I call you Master Vader? What would you like to be called? I'll just call you Rick. I prefer my students to call me Master. Canadian Goose Technique. Ready? Begin. Hey, 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 hey. Canadian Goose Technique. Ready? Begin. Hey, hey.